I didn't know I was black until I came here. Like, I didn't know.
When I walked into class and sat near the black students, because I'm like, oh yeah, and they moved. Like, that was my first, like, sister, mimi nilikuwa in shock the first time mzungu aliniomba $1.
Welcome to our channel. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Velma, and today we're going to be talking about culture shock and our experiences in America after moving here from Kenya. So, yes. Sarah, what is one of the first things that hit you when you arrived in the great New York City?
Public affection. I landed in New York City in the summer, all right? Most of the New Yorkers, they use public transport. The trains are usually very, very congested, especially during the rush hours. So then, when I would see people in the trains, they're standing right next to me, they're kissing, they are doing things that I would think someone would do them in the bedroom. Right. And nobody cares. People, around me, they're minding their own business. They are still, they are listening to their music. Everybody is engaged. Nobody is really looking at them. And sometimes I would stare at them. And then I realized when you stare at people, they go like, that is to tell you, stop staring
at me.
Right. So I struggled with that. How about you? Did that affect you?
It did. Like I said, my mom had 3 daughters. So yeah. My biggest memory was always being told not to walk with boys, not to do ABCD. So, and even being seen walking the estate with boys, for example, going to buy corn on the street or something. If you were seen with the boys, somebody's mom was telling your mom. By the time you got home, it was news. So being here and just seeing people like hug, kiss, touch, grab, I used to try not to stare, but I couldn't help it. Especially since it wasn't just teenagers or younger people. It was like the older people too.
Grandma, grandpa, they're holding hands. Such a beautiful thing to witness. But at the same time, coming from Kenya, I'm like, oh my gosh, this is just too much for me. Can we also talk about the dressing?
Yes, that was crazy for me. The short shorts, the super short shorts. I mean, yes. I remember a time in Kenya where even wearing a spaghetti top, like the makangas would strip you in town. So to see people wearing shorts where the pocket comes out because it's longer, those shorts?
Right.
That was really crazy to me. But even worse was seeing what I would consider my mom or my grandma's age wearing them, comfortable, confident. I was in so much shock. I was why isn't anybody doing anything about this?
Right. And it really didn't matter what size of, your body shape or size. It doesn't matter what it is. All of them, that's also something nice.
It's kind of good. Yeah, it's kind of something I like about America is the freedom to express. I mean, is there such a thing as too much freedom? I don't know. But I do remember seeing, like for us, I feel like when I grew up, the bigger you were, the more you covered up. You didn't want to show, too much meat, but especially if you were a bigger girl or a bigger guy. But here it was like, yes, I'm a big girl. So what? I'm going to wear booty shorts,
Yeah.
You don't like it, you look away.
Oh, yeah.
Not my problem.
It's true. It is true. And, that I've seen also with my daughter trying to act like, hey, this is what I want. This is what I want to wear. And if people don't like it, that's okay. That's on them. It's not on me. As long as I'm comfortable, that's all that matters, which I like. You know what I mean? What is there anything else that really struck you?
Another thing that really struck me is when I came straight to school. I went straight to a college in Pennsylvania. And I remember walking around, from home, the only time you see Mzungu, at least in my era, the only time you saw Mzungu was if you are in town near like these British Council, companies like those. But you don't really interact with Wazungus and see them on the street like that. So walking into a school, everybody's mostly white. It was already kind of, okay. And then walking into class, and I'm like, okay, here's some black kids sitting in the corner. Let me sit closer to them. Let me feel a little, I'm like smiling. I'm happy. Yeah, I'm about to be friends. And the first thing that happens when I sit down is they stand up and walk away. And I was just like, that was the first time I felt black. Like, I mean, know you're black, but I felt black. And I was just like, but you're the same skin tone as me. It doesn't make sense.
See, that's the misconception that we have also, because I'm thinking, African Americans, I look like them, so then they should be more welcoming than the Jungus. But, sometimes.
Yeah, and it's funny, I ended up with Jungus being more of the people who showed me around campus and helped me get stuff. And I think another thing is also just, which really drove me crazy, is once they hear your accent. The once your accent comes out and people want to talk to you super slow.
Right.
Talk to you.
Yes.
And I'm like, I'm still an intelligent girl. I just don't sound like you. I still speak English. I just don't sound like you. But that was quite an interesting experience. And it's just, you never know. Because like I said, I expected the Jungus to make me feel funny. And they were actually the most welcoming. And this is not everywhere. Of course, this is just a sample of what happened to me.
Yeah.
I mean, I have worked with some people on both ends of the spectrum, people who are whatever color and are really accommodating, and people who are whatever color and are not accommodating at all. It was just really surprising to not feel like us, Sisi Africa, let's bunch together.
Yeah, and talking about accent, it also messes up with someone's self-confidence. It did to me. It really did. Everybody is waiting for you to say something, and they act like they're not understanding. They don't even meet you halfway, which is also something. Aww. Did you have that in school, in college, in class?
I did in class.
Doing presentations, when you're doing presentations.
I used to be so nervous. In fact, I remember having a public speaking class and you had to do a presentation. And I chose to do Kenya. I mean, what else would I do? It was the easiest thing I could present on. But I remember the professor asking me, do you mind if people ask you questions after class? And I'm like, yeah. And a lot of the questions were like, how does it feel to wear clothes? How come you speak English? And I'm just like, what? What are you talking about? They're like, you have giraffes in your backyard. And it just struck me that all these people have been sitting in class with me the whole semester, and this is what they think of me. This is what they think about where I'm from and my people. Mm-hmm. I mean, there's nothing wrong with not wearing clothes, but we're so many people. There's so many countries in Africa, people.
Right. So, it's like when you say Kenya, everybody goes, Africa?
Yeah.
Like, Africa, yeah. Yes. But we all have different traditions, different cultures, even in Africa, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Something else that stood out for me was weight. On the streets, I would see very, very big people. Now, don't get me wrong. It's just because when I saw very many big people on the street, then I knew, oh my gosh, there's a lot of money on the street.
People are rich.
Because where we come from, if you're big, then you got the money.
Yes. Yes.
How about you?
No, that was the same thing I thought, because I mean, at home, again, my era, I feel like things are so different at this time. The bigger a guy's belly, the more money he had. That means you're able to purchase more food. You're able to put more food on the table. Kuna kitambi. But just coming here and seeing just a lot of big, I mean, even the big people I saw back home then were never as big as the people I saw in this country. And I mean, eventually I learned our food systems are different, so our bodies react differently. But at that point, I didn't understand that. And it was just like, why is you would see one big person every other day, maybe in Kenya. Then here I'm seeing a big person here, seeing a big person there. But what struck me is their confidence too. Because they were so, and more power to my people. They were confident. It's like, yes. Why are you looking at me? And then I realized I'm also the only one looking. Everyone else, it was normal. It was kawa to them. So I had to adjust and realize, okay, first of all, looking is rude, but you can't help when it's something you haven't seen. You're trying not to be rude, but just like, what's going on? Right. So
that looking and staring, really, I really struggled with it. I tell you, I really struggled. So yeah. Something else, it's how clean the streets were, and they're still are.
I remember asking the person, because I got a ride from the airport from one of my mom's, I guess, ex-co-workers. And I was just like, do they wash the streets? Like, are the roads washed? And then every car looks new. Every car looks brand new. And I'm like, people don't buy used cars here? And it's like, oh, no, that's used. I'm like, how? How now?
That's true. That is true. That is true. That's true. The streets are very clean, they're very organized, you know what I mean? And if you're driving around the streets, this and that's something else. When I started driving, and I'm driving around the neighborhoods and nobody's behind me, nobody's in the front, it's easy, I'm doing it easy, but then you get to a stop sign, with the sign, but they still expect me to stop.
Right, and nobody's there.
Yes, I gotta be honest. I still struggle with that. Sometimes like boom,
You
boom, boom.
do?
Yeah.
I struggle with the tolls. I'm not gonna lie, because sometimes I'm like, well, why am I paying? And New Jersey, for example, has so many
Yes.
tolls,
Right.
and it's like, why am I paying again? Why am I paying again? So the first time I realized I didn't pay toll, and they caught me, of course, because it's a camera. I was like, damn. But that was something I used to wonder, like, why are we giving all this money all the time, and where is it going? Like, who
Right.
told me I have this much money to give every time I drive down this road? Like, you know. So yeah, those are some things that I thought about, and some things that really struck me. And I feel like maybe a lot of people who are maybe thinking about coming here might be wondering what it feels like. People who are new here, because I certainly wish somebody had explained these things to me, that a lot of them are normal. A lot of the things you see, like, don't be too hard on yourself, you know.
Right.
It's like, that's just how this place is. And yeah, it's not fair.
And you know, and it takes time. You know,
Yes.
I've been here for some time, but I still don't fit in, and you'll never fit in. So don't try too hard.
Yeah.
To fit in, you will never fit in. Be who you are.
And
That's
own it. Okay.
Yes. Oh yeah. Be proud of who you are. Be proud of who you are. I always tell my kids, you know, you have to be proud of who you are. That is who you are. You're not gonna change it for anybody. They will respect you for that. They will be able to pronounce your name. They have pronounced Lupita Nyong'o. So,
yes, they can.
Oh, yes. So, yes.
Okay, so let's wrap up our video for today.
Right.
Thank you guys for watching. Click, subscribe, share, and we'll see you in our next video.